Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of CA with CA, Current Affairs with Chartered Accountant. I am CA Anakhanchani Tekkekara and together let's discuss the current affairs of the Indian economy. Today's video is all about celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. In this 75 years of the Indian economy, we have achieved what once was considered the impossible. Through this video, we will be analyzing India's journey from 1947 to 2022 through all the 75 years. We will be comparing the key socio-economic indicators of the Indian economy which will be useful for you to write your GS mains answers. So the first data is regarding the Indian population. According to the 1951 census, India was home to around 361 million people, whereas now our human asset, as we can call it, has grown to a whopping 1.4 billion, making it the largest democracy in the world. But the sex ratio, that is the number of females per thousand males, was 946 back in 1950-51, but whereas it has improved to 1020 as on 2019-2020. This was due to the increased number of female infanticides that we faced back then. But thanks to the government initiatives, thanks to the education system, there has been a considerate improvement in the sex ratio, which has brought it to 1020 females per 1000 males as per the 2019-20 data. India, despite being the land of Vedas, Upanishads and scientists such as Aryabhatta and doctors such as Susruta back in the times, couldn't boast about its literacy rates though in the year 1947. With literacy rates for male and female close to 27 and 8% respectively, we've grown leaps and bounds and reached a commendable 84 and 71% respectively for males and females. However, there is still an imbalance with regard to male and female literacy rates, which I am sure we'll be able to bridge the gap. The United Nations Development Programme in its Human Development Index ranked India 26th back in those days, but unfortunately we have not been able to perform to a better level and still remains at 131st position. Till now we discussed the social aspects of the Indian economy. Now let's move into the numbers. Now, comparing the Union Budget of India back in 1947, it was just a 7.5 months budget because India had attained independence in mid of August and the budget had to be done till 31st March of 1948. The targeted revenue for that budget was just rupees 171 crores and the targeted expense was just 197 crores. But according to our latest Union budget, for the financial year 21-22, our targeted revenue is at rupees 19.7 lakh crores. The targeted expense on the other hand is at rupees 34.83 lakh crores. Now let's compare India with the world. After 200 years of the British colonial rule, the GDP of India on the eve of independence was just rupees 2.7 lakh crores and it had a share of just a meager 3% of the world GDP. The per capita income of India at that time was surprisingly low to a meager rupees 265. Whereas in financial year 21-22, India's nominal GDP, that is GDP at the current prices, stood at rupees 236.6 lakh crores. Now this amounted to almost 7% of the global GDP. There was a substantial increase in the per capita income of our country. From 265, it went all the way up to rupees 1,28,829. Now let's talk about the Forex reserves of India. At the eve of independence, India's Forex reserve was somewhere close to 113.4 million pounds sterling. Why? Because since India was under the British rule, its foreign currency were pegged to the pound instead of the dollar as we have now. And surprisingly, $1 was just 4 rupees back then in 1947 because the Indian rupee was pegged to the pound sterling. But in 1966, for the first time, the Indian rupee was devalued by the Reserve Bank of India and instead of pegging it to the pound sterling, the dollar, the US dollar, which was much more accepted currency, got to be in our exchange rate system. Whereas in March 2022, the foreign reserves of our country became the fourth largest in the world, amounting to 622.27 billion US dollars. The exchange rate, however, as on today is $1 is equal to rupees 79.28. So, what do we as a nation look forward to, or what awaits India? Even though the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted our country a lot, we have managed to come out of the problems created by it and the setbacks that we have had as a nation towards the growth trajectory. We have been able to recoup to a very good extent. Now, as a nation, our primary goals are to achieve a growth rate of more than 8%, which is a surprisingly aspirational growth percentage given the growth of other nations put together. We also envisage to achieve 5 trillion economy by 2025. The schemes put in place by the government aims to eliminate poverty, increase the life expectancy and provide better job opportunities to the youth of India. So here's wishing you a very happy Independence Day, and let us make India proud by being the pillars of the Indian bureaucracy. The material for this topic will be provided in our Telegram channel. Click the link in the description to access the same. If you are pleased with the content, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. See you next week with another topic. Jai Hind.